Which brings us to the purpose of our clinic today, and that is wax and how to apply wax. But again, one more thing we have to understand before we learn how to put the wax on the skis, we have to understand how wax works and what in fact is wax. Wax comes in a number of different forms. We have wax that looks like this, in a stick or block form like that. We have wax that comes in sticks like big fat crayons, and we have wax that comes in liquid form like this and with a little sponge applicator, and then we have wax that comes in bingo dabbers like this. Okay? So, but they're all quite different from each other, and in fact calling them all the same thing is very, very misleading. In fact, you can imagine what would happen if you confused glue with lubricant. You could have some very disastrous results. Imagine putting glue on your bicycle chain. It's not going to work very well. Well, in fact, that's the distinction between these two different kinds of wax. This is glide wax, this is grip wax or sticky wax. This is a lubricant, this is an adhesive. Very different from each other. Grip wax, what is it? I guess the confusing part of all these different kinds of wax is fundamentally they're all made of the same kind of materials. And in fact, the only difference between glide wax and grip wax is actually the hardness of the material. In fact, the material is more or less the same kind of paraffin compound. By varying the hardness of the types of wax that we're using, we can make it either not so sticky or very sticky. And the way in which the adhesive properties of wax works is kind of interesting. It's a very simple process, in fact. It works on the basis of contact adhesion. In fact, it is a contact adhesive along the lines of contact cement. And the way contact adhesives work fundamentally is the surface of the adhesive deforms to match the surface of what is being glued or adhered to the glue. In fact, if I press my thumb into the soft surface of this soft sticky wax, I will leave an imprint of my thumb in that soft wax. And some of it stays with my thumb. That process of matching the surface of the wax to the rough surface of my thumb creates contact adhesion. Okay, now think about it. When we're skiing, there's two dynamic activities that we're engaging in when we're actually skiing. We're engaging in what we call the grip phase and the glide phase. And the grip phase is brought about by applying downward pressure on the bottom of the ski. Okay? That downward pressure causes the skis to grip into the snow. And if we've got a little bit of sticky grip wax on the bottom of our skis, we are going to take advantage of that contact adhesion and get very good grip. In fact, by pushing down on the surface, we get grip. But an interesting characteristic about contact adhesives is that they have very poor shear force adhesion. In other words, if I apply forces across the surface, it really has very poor ability to adhere. Okay? And think about that. That's exactly what we want in a ski. We can control those two phases and we can differentiate them. The grip phase is a downward force. The glide phase is a shear force moving across the surface. And because the adhesive properties of wax are such that they have poor shear force adhesion, we can glide very nicely over the surface of the snow.